as I introduce this particular video, I'm already down on the Cape on the next trip. Well, that'll complicate it for you. Let me just kind of say this. This video that you're about to see is from the last trip that we did down here, and everything's just kind of gotten backlogged on me. Let me explain why. My daughter, my youngest daughter, is pregnant with identical twin daughters, and as a result, I have been asked, and gladly did it, to make them a toy box. But this is not just any toy box. This is a colonial blanket box style. It's going to be for a toy box. But what's happened is that since the last time I talked to you and all this stuff that you're about to see here, I really kind of kicked in on the toy box. Excuse me, let's call it blanket box, because on the outside it's going to look like a colonial blanket box. Anyway, I've really been working hard and kind of cutting and planing down and putting all the pieces together, and I'm nowhere near done with that. But let me tell you something, when you're wanting to do an heirloom type piece of furniture, and that is going to be used for a toy box for your identical twin granddaughters, then you take some time with it. Well, obviously, something has to slide, and all the work that I did aboard Little Girl, and for that matter, the main thing, all the work that I was supposed to do to get the video out kind of went by the boards. You know, I kind of got to work on the toy box / blanket box, and that didn't get done. So anyway, ironically, while I'm down here on this next trip, I've got some time in the evenings, and I plan to just kind of crank it and try to finish up the last episode. It was supposed to be so immediate, so quick, right after the one that you saw before this. So anyway, guys, I apologize. Okay, so what I've done, I didn't take it off. I did use a heat gun on it and try to soften that up at the top, and it did. And what I've done is move the one that was up here all the way down here and get that pretty tightly around the base. But it wasn't leaking from the base. It was only leaking up here. Keep in mind that when this boat is in the water level outside the boat is basically just below here. And so anytime we are in any kind of a rise and, with the waves and all this kind of stuff, it was coming up and seeping out right around here. So what I did, instead of going around down here, which is where it was originally, it was really off angle with the slope of this. You look at this. See that it slopes back like that? So what I did, I actually took the new hose clamp and went more directly in line with the angle. In other words, it's more directly around the circumference of it. And I took my mechanics, I got it from an old mechanic, my mechanics mirror, and went around the back of this like this to look at it. And, I really like the look of it back there, because it looks like what's happened is I've actually captured the very top of this and managed to compress the top of this hose very adequately all the way around. We will see. I'm going to clean this up, and we're going to give this a try for another year. It may or may not work. The worst it can be is what it was last year, where when it was in the water and we had any kind of waves at all, I was getting a little weepy, a little drip, 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 and it all ends up, it goes right down there and ends up right down here, right where the bilge pump is. And it was really weird. We had just come back from, we're out on the vineyard, and we just come back from supper, and we got on the boat, and I hear this, what's going on? I hear this thing, this noise, and I look down here, and the bilge is full. This thing was doing a marvelous job. It was just completely draining the bilge. And so the bilge pump works beautifully. I've been messing around down here. Let me just go ahead and real quick and reach up here if I can. There's my bilge override switch right there. And see, it should still work. Yep, works perfectly. So anyway, we're going to give that a shot for another year. If need be, if it leaks some this year, I may just cut this hose and put a brand new piece in. Let me tell you something. As stiff as this hose is, it's not something I look forward to. For right now, I'm thinking I may have solved the problem, especially with repositioning that hose clamp in a way that it really captures the top of this in its circumference around this downpipe out of the cockpit at the angle that it's supposed to be at. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call this one quits and cross my fingers and hope it works. For quite a while now, I've had the idea of making a cover board for this so that you can't, just from the cabin, this is kind of all sealed up. Not that it's going to be sealed per se, but have a cover board that's going to go from right here down to right here. I'm just going to take, I've got some good hardwood at home, very similar to what I've got here for the back of my table support. And I just go ahead and put a strip across here about 24 inches, down here about 24 inches on the flat, and then have a cover board that just covers this whole thing side to side. And that just makes it so that you're not looking at all the components and so forth. I'm not worried about being out of sight because everything is, in the first place, the bilge pump is completely automatic, and if needed, I can always just hit the switch. I've got a separate switch right up here on the panel that I installed. So I think that's I've already written down all the measurements I need, and I think I'm probably going to just use the rest of that plywood that I didn't use. I'm not going to use the oaks, the very busy oaky side. I'm going to use the back side of it and maybe use that to make myself a nice panel and match it up to the woodwork in here, the trim. The other thing I did in preparation for this, I took this grounding board that has a grounding strip right there for all my grounded electrical stuff. The ground for my electrical stuff, and instead of it being horizontal going from here back to here, I did it vertical right next to the battery, and it's very nicely anchored right there, and everything's tucked out of the way. So anyway, that's the plan, and now I just got to take all my measurements home and cut a piece of plywood and stain it and varnish it and make it look all fancy dancy to go in the cabin here. So next project. The diagram and all the measurements I did today for the cover board to go over the battery / bilge pump compartment. And let me just span out here. And there's the template worked out right there. And we're going to go ahead and cut it and see how it works, if it's even close. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get cutting. Third template I've cut recently, and I'll tell you what, getting used to it, it helps to have an extremely sharp knife, and this one is. I don't even remember where I bought this. It's a Milwaukee knife, and it is just razor sharp. Oops. there. Well, there's the template, and it fits really, really nice, except over on the right-hand side top, where it's a little not quite there, all the way up against the slat that goes alongside of the quarter berth port side. But you know what? It's not bad, and yeah, the rest of it fits like a glove. I think the thing I'm concerned about is being able to get it in and out when it's plywood. Now, as cardboard, I can almost fold it and get it into place, but I'm just concerned about being able to get it in as plywood. Maybe we're not going to be able to quite do as nice a tight a fit as what I've got right here. Like I said, not bad. I mean, I think it'll work like a charm with the wood backing up at the top. It would be a 24-inch strip of wood that maybe put a couple of screws into, or hooks or something like that, and down at the bottom the same kind of a deal. But anyway, yeah, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so this is a towel bar that I did for a little girl a long time ago, and yeah, nice little solid mahogany, and there's no really good place to put it here in the kitchen area, the galley. Because if you hang it, if you put it right here, you got the towels are going to be dragging right on the top of your quarter berth. Okay, that's not going to work. There's no place up here. I didn't want it up here anyway. It's just for the first place, towel bar is too long for that. So perfect place, out of sight, where it can dry. It's not really going to be in the way, even though I like to sleep on starboard. It's right around the corner. Let me see if I can get here. I'll get a light on in here. Get a light on in here. There we go. Right around the corner, and right there. Perfect. Right around the corner from the sink. There's your towel bar, and you may never see it, but it's going to be practical, and it's going to be right there. It's also, when you lay down at night, you're not going to hit your head when you get up. I like to sleep, starboard in the V berth. And so there it is. This is where we're going to put it. I've already got this marked out on the back where we're going to put the screws. I got to drill some holes. Got to go up to Home Depot and pick up a couple of nice dress screws, which, wouldn't you know, I don't happen to have any of those on hand. I know what I want. But anyway, yeah. That'll be my last project for the day, probably. And then gonna do some cleaning up here and get ready to go down to Seafood Sam's for the evening. So, all right, let's get some holes drilled and go pick up some screws. Guys, we're all done. Towel rack is up. I'm gonna have to replace the screws because they're too short, but I made it work just by doing almost no pilot hole and going straight into the bulkhead here. So it's holding good and solid. It's not going to go anywhere, but I'm just picky. So anyway, thank you, Sharon Jane, for my wonderful little girl towels. Salty but sweet. Thank you. I love you too, sweetie. And then Adventure Awaits. My wife got these for me. Yeah, I kind of love that woman, especially since this boat is named after her, a little girl. So anyway, there we go. And see, there's a sink right there. And, okay, I like that. It's going to work. All right, so I'll do a wrap-up tonight after we get back. A couple of things. First of all, my brother went down to his boat, checked everything over, and he's decided not to do the soldering job on the light in the V-berth this trip. I said, but, just check it out. I mean, make sure that apparently he wants to buy a brand new light, and that's why. So anyway, for right now, that's off, and I meant that I had a little more time to work on my boat today. But in the meantime, this evening we're going to head down to Seafood Sam's. This will be our first time for the season. It's open again. That's the Seafood Sam's is right down on the Cape Cod Canal, and so it's a family treat. And Mom and Dad are, both of them are in there. They're both 90 years old now, And, we decided, yep, we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to take the time and very carefully get them loaded into the car and make the trip down and enjoy some seafood down overlooking the canal. And the beauty is, this being Monday night, it is clam night, which means there's $2 off a plate if you're getting clams. So, looking forward to it. Always enjoy my first time and the last time, and boy, it just seems like we're barely wrapped up the season doing the last time, and here we are already heading into spring, and going to be able to get down there and enjoy some clams this evening. So, all right, well, I think that's about it for now. Got quite a bit accomplished. I wished I'd gotten more done, but we're kind of running out of time. The trip is winding down, and we will see you guys after clams tonight, and kind of do a wrap up on the trip. Tomorrow morning, I got to get this boat covered up and get ready to hit the road. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Restoring Little Girl. Well, guys, it's been a great trip. Gotten a lot accomplished. And the last thing we did last night was get the cockpit all cleaned up and tools put away. And basically, I'm ready to go here this morning. But I just wanted to say thanks for coming by. It's been an extraordinary trip. I was down here all the way from last Thursday, and right now it's Tuesday morning the following week, so we just had a tremendous time, got a lot accomplished, and hope you enjoy this episode. It's been fantastic for me to really been spending some time aboard Little Girl and get some things done, and I think I may actually, as far as the kayaking thing, I may cut that out and do that as a separate part to this. So be looking for a separate, I think, episode on just the kayaking that my brother and I did over here on the pond nearby my mom and dad's place. So, anyway, hey, great trip. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers. I'm now up to 109 subscribers, and I never know where you guys coming from. I mean, if a few of you register and I actually get to see who you are. And for those of you who are subscribers, thanks for being on board with Little Girl. And hey, I just hope that you're enjoying these, and we'll keep on working. Remember that even though I've gotten all the stuff done on this video, and you're going to see everything that we got accomplished, the work is not over. Because when I get back to Vermont, the Coverboard that I just designed and cut out the template for, that's all going to get basically worked through and design finished up and everything done, so that when I get back down here, it's all ready to be installed. And that's kind of the way of it, just the work never stops aboard Little Girl, even if I'm not aboard Little Girl. So, hey, thanks for coming by. Take care, and we'll see you on the next trip down.